All right, good Erev Shabbos, all my friends here on the YouTubes. So today is Erev Shabbos of Parshas HaChodesh. So Parshas HaChodesh, it's not only Parshas HaChodesh, but it's also Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So it's a big deal. This Rosh Chodesh, because it's one of the Arba Rosh Hashanim. It's one of the 4 New Years. It's actually Rabbi Nachman's birthday. Nachman Breslover, his birthday was Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And remember what we said yesterday from the Kedushas Levi, that all the hischadshus, the renewal of the whole world for the new year takes place in Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And the fact that Rosh Chodesh Nisan is falling on Shabbos, it's a tremendous thing. So we need to be prayer warriors. There's a tefillah from the Shlach Kaddish for everybody knows the one for Rosh Chodesh Sivan. There's also one for Rosh Chodesh Nisan. It's a lot shorter than the one for Rosh Chodesh Sivan. But you can look it up. I know a few people have posted it in different places. But in addition to that, there's something else. There's I'm going to have to go this way then. That there's something that we have. There's 3 stories that are supposed to be told on Shabbos HaChodesh, and that's the tradition that we have from the Reb Melech, and they say that the Koshen Tzemagid said it from the Reb Melech. The schus of the Reb Melech to tell these stories, and we have 4 different stories, but we say that there are 3, so there's different versions of which 3 of these 4 we tell. So I always tell all 4, and I'm telling it now, not only because it's because of the Zman. And we believe very much that, and we know, not only we believe, we know from our experience that when we tell stories, holy stories like this, it has a tremendous spiritual effect on the world. It's transformative. God created the world. He started with Bereshis, right? He started with the book of Genesis. Stories of what happened, the history of the world, and of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So we have a big history there. So that's why it's important for us to look at these things. So in any event, we have this idea that the transformative power of storytelling, it has a spiritual power. And that's why there's this idea of the Hasidic story, not only to entertain, not only to teach a lesson, but it's truly transformative spiritual power. And so these 4 stories are segullah. They're a charm for parnassah, for prosperity. And we should be worthy that in the merit of telling these stories, and that we should indeed have prosperity. They're stories that teach us to have simple faith in God, and emunas chachomim, and simple emunah. So the first story we'll tell, it involves the Reb Melech. We told it a few days ago, but it's worthwhile to tell it now. And not only that, but also to tell the story. Tell the story tomorrow, meaning you're going to hear me tell the story, you're going to remember the story, you're going to remember all 4 stories, and you'll tell these stories tomorrow to your family, to your friends at shul, whoever it is. And the power of telling these stories, it should bless everybody, because we really need it. There's so much dachkus and iyas in the world, and so we need to have the power. And certainly a major way of fixing this is giving tzedakah. Even if we only have a small amount to give, to give what you can, and in that power you'll be blessed also. So, we're talking about a lot of different things going on. So, the first story is like this. There was a chassid of the Reb Melech. If you don't mind, I'm going to tell it like English, like we say, yeshivish, chassidish sprach. I'm not going to necessarily translate everything, although I might wind up translating everything. We'll see. So there was Reb Melech. There was a chassid who he bought a barrel of whiskey. There's nothing wrong in Judaism to drink alcohol, as long as you're responsible. So it was a chassid. He bought a barrel of whiskey, and he was going to sell it one cup at a time. That was going to be how he was going to make his money for Pesach. He bought it wholesale and he'd sell it retail. And he was carrying this barrel, and they heard him. What happened was he came to a border, and the customs agents, they seized it because it was confiscated it because it was contraband, and he didn't have the proper duty on the customs. So they said he ran to Reb Melech and he asked him, "What should I do? This was my parnassah. This is how I was going to pay for Pesach." So he said, "All right, you're going to go back to the customs agents and tell them that it's just a barrel of water, and if they want, they could taste it." So the customs agents, they thought, "Oh, we'll have a nice drink," so they didn't mind. So they had a cup, and it was water. They were disappointed. To their great disappointment, right? It was water. So they said, "Fine, have your barrel of water." So then he's schlepping around this barrel of water. He goes back to Reb Melech. He says, "Rebbe, what should I do? What do I need a barrel of water for? I can't sell a cup of water, make any profit. I need whiskey." He said, "Don't worry, take a sip." It went back to being whiskey again. And so he was able to sell it, and he had money for Pesach and for the whole year and for his whole life. And so too, just like this, he had parnassah for Pesach, and he became prosperous for the whole year and for his whole life. So too, we should have money for Pesach and for the whole year and for our whole lives. The second story was about this. I think is the one that's not often told. The second story goes like this: that there was a Yid. He didn't have any money for Pesach, and so he wrote a letter to God, and he said, "To the most exalted King, my dear beloved most exalted King, I'm writing to you because I have no money for Passover, and I'm asking that you should have mercy on me and send me some money for Passover." He wrote the letter, and then he put it on a arrow, and he shot the arrow into the woods, or kind of maybe up in the sky toward the woods, and winds up landing in a tree. And the human king who was there finds this letter from this Jew and sends him the money, because his heart is very touched by this letter. So it's and then he had money not just for Pesach. The king sent him quite a lot of money, and so too, just like this Yid had money for Pesach and for the whole year and for his whole life, so too we should be blessed to have parnassah b'revach, to have a lot of livelihood, to have a lot of prosperity, parnassah for Pesach and for the whole year and for our whole lives. And The next story goes like this: that there was a king who had a ring that he really loved this ring, and he lost the ring. It was actually stolen, but he didn't know that. He just saw it was lost. So he makes an announcement that anybody who will look for the ring, even if you don't find the ring, you'll get paid for your time. And then beyond that, if you find it, there's a very big reward. So there's a Yid at Mashkala, Yankala, whatever his name was. He didn't have any money for Pesach. His wife said, "Why don't you look for the ring a little bit? You'll make a few dollars, and then you'll go on. You'll have some money. We'll make Pesach." And so Taki took a few minutes, looked for the ring, didn't find anything. So then he went and he took the money that he made for his time, that he made, honestly, and he went and made Pesach. So then there was a priest, a Galach. He didn't like Jews very much, and he saw that this Jew, he took the money and he went and made Pesach. So he went and reported him to the king. He said, "This Jew, he's not looking for the ring." He didn't tell him. He spent the time. It was all honest and everything, but he didn't look for the ring. He just absconded with the money, and now he's celebrating his holiday with the ring, with the money that you gave him to look for the ring. So he said, "Really, that's the case? I want to see with my own eyes." So the king, he went and he saw that he's sitting by the Pesach Seder, right, just like the Galach saw, and he said, maybe there's a reason why he's doing this. The Jews, they practice some kind of magic, they're Jew magic, and so that's what he's doing. They were by Dayenu, but he was a Hasidic Yid, so he was saying Dayani, right? Dayani, right? Ili Hoitziuni Mimitzrayim Dayani. And as always given, they kept saying like this, Dayani. They didn't know the whole story with what are they saying. The king said, "Oh, I know what they're saying. They're using their psychic magic, and he's saying, who stole the ring? Right? This Ili Hoitziuni Mimitzrayim, it means who stole the ring? And everybody's answering Dayani. And what was the Galach's name? What was the priest's name? Dayani. And it was taka true. He stole the ring, and so he took this ring, and so then it was true. So the Jew got a very big reward because he found the ring, and that anti-Semitic Galach, he was executed, I think, for stealing the ring. So just like this Jew, he had money for Pesach, and for the whole year and for his whole life, he became very, very rich because of this reward. So too we should be blessed to have money for Pesach and for the whole year and for our whole lives in the schus of Reb Melech. So then one more story. My wife doesn't like this story. There was a Jew. He was a serf on a feudal land. he worked for the Poritz, right? The feudal lord. And one day the feudal lord, said to him, Moshka, Yankala, whatever his name, that's right. He said, how's the business going? How's your livelihood going? So the Moshkala, he said, he said, Baruch Hashem, thank God, God provides. The Poritz looked at him, he said, what do you mean God provides? I'm providing, I'm the one who supports you. So he said, let me see how God provides for you. I'm not going to provide for you anymore. And it was just before Pesach. So he was okay. He had emunah, he had bitachon, he had faith, he had trust in God. And the Poritz, the feudal lord, he went to his counting house where he's going to count all his money. And he had a pet monkey. So the Poritz is sitting there and he's sitting in the counting house counting all his money. And I heard two different versions of the story. One, it's like, ever seen old movies, they bite the coins to make sure that they're real. So that was one version of the story, is he's biting the coins to see if they're real. And the other version of the story is that he was cleaning them off, which is really disgusting, but using his saliva to clean off the coins, and maybe it was a little bit of both. In any event, so the monkey, the pet monkey, he sees this. And you know what they say, monkey see, monkey do. The monkey didn't know what was going on. The monkey thought he's eating the coins. He thought it's some kind of food. So he's eating the coins. And so that's the story. The monkey starts eating tons and tons of gold coins. And he dies, the monkey, right? Now, the monkey was all alone and he eating the coins and he died because the Poritz didn't see all this happening. The feudal lord didn't see all this happening. So he comes back to the counting house, to the room where he has all the money, and he says, he finds a dead monkey. He doesn't know that the monkey is filled with coins. And he says, I'm going to play a joke on that Jew. I'm going to throw this dead monkey in his window just to play a trick on him. Because what do I need the dead monkey for? And he didn't realize it's filled with coins. So he tells one of his servants to take the dead monkey, the carcass of the monkey, throw it in the Jew's window. And so he's sitting there, learning whatever, saying Tehillim, reading the Psalms, studying the Talmud, whatever he was doing. And what comes flying through the window? This monkey. And it lands on the kitchen table, and out of its mouth falls the coins, and he picks it up, and he feels it's filled with coins. He opens up, it's like millions and millions of dollars in there. So so then the Poritz comes and sees him passing by a coin shop. It's interesting. Vintage golden coin. There should be a simon. So he sees this. Just while I'm telling the story, I should pass by a coin shop. It's very interesting, So the Poritz says, where'd you get the money from? He said, I don't know, this monkey flew in through my window and it was filled with coins, and there was a lot of money in there. So the Poritz understood that it's true what he said, that God is the one who provides. And then he said, it's a blessing to take care of this Jew also. So he still in addition to the millions of dollars that he got from the monkey, the parrot still supported him also. So just like this Eid, he had money for Pesach and for the whole year and for his whole life, and he was very, very rich. So too should be for all of us. We should be blessed to have parnassah b'revach, to have we should be blessed to have abundant prosperity, everything we do, and this way we can learn Torah and do mitzvahs and give tzedakah and not have to worry and just be happy and serving God. So now when there's this Parshas HaShefa, the schus of the story, the schus of Reb Melech, we should all be zeicha to tremendous blessings and prosperity, a very Chag Kosher v'Sameach, a very happy Pesach, a very fulfilling Pesach. And I'll say something else. I heard that there was such a story, was well before the time of Reb Melech, that it was in Prague, and there's a shul in Prague, it's a museum now, the Parnassah shul, and you should know that they say that that's how the shul is built. There was a Jew, he had, it happened like that they threw a monkey filled with coins into his window. So I visited that shul once. So God should bless us all, and let's all tell these stories tomorrow. As I'm recording this, will be tomorrow. And even if you tell it another time, it should also be a blessing. We should all be blessed to really be successful in everything we do in life. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later.